That's me, and my buddy Harrison. You're probably wondering how we're about to find ourselves belly up in an 86 Toyota. Kind of a long story. Let's rewind back to June 2022. Harrison had asked me if I wanted to go participate in an SCCA Rallycross event in his Fiesta ST. Of course the answer was yes. We were well matched with our competition and the car performed beautifully. However, early in the afternoon, one of our fellow competitors kindly informed us that our car was on fire. Thankfully, it was just dried grass caught on the subframe jammed up against the exhaust. A good dousing with some water bottles and the car was totally fine. However, this was Harrison's daily driver, and he didn't want to risk its well-being any further, so we decided to call it a day. But we knew we wanted to try again. We wanted to come back with a car that we could drive as hard as possible, and if it broke, we didn't have to worry about it. So we set about searching for our future rally car. Our criteria was cheap, running, and manual transmission. The lighter the better, and a few dents here and there didn't bother us. We searched Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for a few weeks until we found a Yaris hatchback for $2,000. It turned out to be a pile of crap. So next on our list was a 1986 Toyota Celica. The paint was faded, the tires were old and cracked, but the car started and ran, so we bought it for the modest sum of $2,400. Work started quickly with an oil change and a new battery. New spark plugs ensured more complete combustion and the engine ran better. We removed the cruise control motor and removed some suspect wiring that seemed like a junkyard fix for a cold start issue that the new spark plugs had solved. New motor mounts ensured that the motor and transmission didn't move around so much, and brass shift cable bushings gave us a more positive engagement. The tricky thing with the shifter was that the throw was long and pretty sloppy. We ordered a $25 short shift kit from Amazon and proceeded to cut the shifter cradle to pieces in an effort to force it to fit. It eventually worked and gave us a tighter shift pattern with a much shorter throw. Finally, we stripped the interior and trunk of anything that wasn't mandatory for SCCA prepared class. Now it was time for the big stuff. Our big ticket item for the car was the suspension. We optioned out some bespoke Saga rally suspension for the Celica, including a lift, helper springs, soft damping, and stiff spring brakes. All in, the suspension cost $2,000. Or nearly what the car cost us in the first place. We removed the front sway bar and installed the coilovers, and they fit perfectly. We adjusted the ride height up a couple of inches to make room for the monster tires that we were about to order. On the factory 14-inch wheels, we fitted massive Kumo Venture mud terrain tires. The wheel well required a little bit of hammering to get the tires to fit, but once they were clear, they fit beautifully. We took the car on a test run to dial in some adjustments, and after an alignment, the car was ready for its first Rallycross event. We loaded it up on a trailer and invited my friends Kevin Bandy and Corey Funk to drive the car with us and experience it for the first time. The Celica made its debut at the Holly Tree Off-Road SCCA Rallycross. Because there were 4 of us driving the car, every time somebody finished a run, it was a mad scramble to get somebody in the driver's seat and back in line as quickly as possible. Everybody took turns in the driver's seat, with and without a co-driver. The Celica was surprisingly agile, with predictable off-throttle oversteer, lots of grip thanks to the mud tires, and a smooth ride allowed by our rally-tuned suspension. The Celica was durable, standing up well to back-to-back runs on a harsh and fast course. As the morning progressed, our times were getting shorter and shorter as we learned the course and the car. I finished my 3rd run and set my newest personal best. I jumped out of the driver's seat into the passenger side and let Harrison take the wheel. And my goal was to direct him the absolute fastest way around the course that I knew. Every opportunity to use the gas pedal, we did. We were hustling hard, testing the suspension's remarkable capabilities, and letting the tires claw for grip around every bend. That was until we went over a berm that finished with a curb-like drop and a hard left turn. We came to this point in the track and, well... We were both battered from the crash, but mercifully we were conscious and mostly unscathed thanks to our helmets. The Celica, however, did not fare as well. The passenger side window and the windshield were both destroyed. The passenger door is ruined, and the front corners of the roof are flattened. The driver's side of the hood took a massive impact, flattening the headlight and punching a quarter-size hole through the hood from the suspension tower bolts. While the suspension itself doesn't appear to be damaged, we do know that the top hat on the passenger side front is broken, and the rear sway bar is bent. Long story short, the car was in bad shape. But it did land wheels down, so we pushed it out of the way of the course and had some lunch while we decided what to do next. After some discussion, we decided that there was no harm in trying to start the car. If it was already broken, then it couldn't get more broken. We reconnected the battery and decided to give it a shot.
Unbelievable. That's amazing. That is...
Well, you weren't over long enough to get over
here? Dude, here...
Yeah, we should probably... Here.
The Celica was able to return to the pits and drive onto the trailer under its own power. We returned home and parked it, and covered it with a tarp, with the intention of returning to it sometime soon. Is that as high as it goes?
Yeah, unless I force it.
Windshield's destroyed. No passenger side window. Bugs and spiders just having their way with the inside. Driver's side fender and everything got good and crunched. See that the top hat is busted. Alright, is that hooked up?
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be right now.
It's almost annoying how well it runs, you know?
Yeah, I kinda hate it. Dude, it's f***ing first crank.
I know. Is that the fan? Is it not interfering with anything? The belt's got clearance. Everything's connected.
Yeah, fans are on.
That's wild. That is crazy. There's our air filter. You can see it. Big old hole in the hood.